Hello folks, and welcome to yet another stand-mounted episode of the Audiophile Man. And what do I have for you this time around? Well, a pair of stand-mounted speakers from the UK outfit RUARK called the SABER-R speakers. These are inspired by the original Sabre designs originally released in 1985. So what we have here is a new iteration of those originals. Now, pulling these neat little boxes out of their packaging and gazing upon them, I was hit by a flood of nostalgia. And I've said this many times before, but the largest industry on the planet right now is based upon the notion of memories, whether you're talking hi-fi or not. Certainly in the hi-fi sphere, there are plenty of new products out there that connect to our past in some way. The Sabre-R aesthetics certainly do connect to the RUARK heritage as a creator of speaker designs, but they also strike a general chord in terms of late 70s and 80s product releases. As such, these speakers are very easy on the eye, with their drivers cuddled up to each other, sitting just above wooden accents, proudly displaying a company badge that sits off to the right. Under the magnetic grills of these 6-ohm speakers is a 26mm silk dome tweeter, complete with a neodymium motor system plus aluminium heatsink. Underneath is a 150mm natural fibre cone, a 30mm 4-layer voice coil and long throw motor. At the back is a base port and gold-plated binding posts for both single or bi-wire connections. The cabinet itself is both damped and braced and is finished in either a fused walnut veneer — never heard of fused walnut before, but it's a thing apparently — or satin charcoal lacquer, spanning 290mm by 175 by 215mm and weighing in at 5 kilograms per speaker. The sensitivity of the SABER-Rs is 86 decibels. So you're looking at an amplifier, if you want to get these things moving, of around 25 watts or more. But question is, of course, how do these things sound? Well, let's have a little listen. Now, I grabbed a couple of reference designs when testing the Sabre-R speakers. I wanted to utilize speakers of a similar size and price point, at least upon their respective initial releases, but of a slightly different design ethos, just so I can compare and contrast, I suppose. Hence, I chose a pair of Martin Logan Motion 15i stand mounts, both of those toting, of course, the AMT tweeters, as opposed to the domed tweeters of the Sabre-Rs. Firstly, though, I grabbed a pair of Spender S3-5R2s, which also have domed tweeters. The difference here, though, well, the Spenders have a closed cabinet construction, and of course, the RUARKs are rear base ported. So I began by selecting my software, a CD from the Evo Sound record label. This is a jazz outing, the recently released Harvey Mason album called Changing Partners, and I played the title track featuring piano, upright bass, and percussion. What hit me straight away when the Sabre-R speakers sprang to life was their soundstage, which was wide, it had depth, and to be honest, it was much more lively than the Spenders. The amount of energy contained within that soundstage was impressive, with a relatively deep bass for the speaker size. This allowed the upright bass to really ground this jazz track, as well as providing useful forward motion. Treble was airy and open, with the cymbal reverb tails shooting off into the distance, and the piano gave a rather sparkling performance. Now, yes, the piano did threaten to lose control on occasion, because focus and precision are not really a strong point of the Sabre-Rs. However, it never did lose control, it just about hung on in there. Now, on the other hand, if you have a pair of speakers that have too much focus and precision, that can be a little bit boring, rather staid, and just a tad restrictive. The Sabre-Rs never had that problem. If anything, they just sounded plain fun to listen to, And personally, I will choose fun every time. Moving now to the Martin Logan 15i speakers, I was stunned, because I always am when I listen to these speakers, by that AMT tweeter. The incredible accuracy from the treble-infused cymbal taps was truly a wonder to behold. And to be honest, the AMTs walked all over the RUARK tweeters. Thing is though, speakers are made under the shadow of compromise, especially at this price point, because build budget is finite. Overall, of course, great speakers are rather more than just treble performance. So, while the RUARK treble couldn't quite compete with the 15i speakers, the overall integrated design of the SABER-Rs, well, it produced a livelier, more energetic, possibly more homogeneous and tonally balanced presentation. The 15i speakers had focus and precision in the mids and the bass, but the RUARKs provided better bass punch with more emotionally infused mids. All of that tended to better translate the human effort behind those instruments. You felt the jazz guys here were giving their all with this performance. Moving to vinyl now, and that effect was accentuated with the more high-energy fur from Yes's Close to the Edge. These speakers had a ball with rock music, being free and easy in the mids and the treble, but adding a rollicking bass response down below. And that, my friends, is basically the review of the RUARK SABER-R stand-mounted speakers. Let me give you a few final thoughts. I have one or two of those to give you, and then I'll give you some pros and cons and a rating. I can best sum up the RUARK SABER-R speakers in terms of attitude. For example, my two reference speaker pairings were dressed up in a suit and a tie and a shirt with the top button done up. They sat straight-backed at the table and they behaved correctly and impeccably. The RUARK SABER-R speakers, on the other hand, dressed in a t-shirt and jeans, fell into a comfy sofa, talked wildly while waving an open bottle of beer for emphasis. It's that relaxing, this is music, so we're gonna damn well enjoy it feel from the RUARK that really pulls you in. It's also that relaxed, easy feel that you might have expected from speakers from the late 70s, early to mid 80s. That's what the RUARK really connects to here. For me, these speakers are fun, full of enthusiasm, and only here for a good time. But they will still attract audiophiles, and they will still attract serious hi-fi fans. Firstly, for their mid-range insight, for that splendid soundstage, and also for that bass reach. Get them and you will not be disappointed. And that's why I am going to give the RUARK SABER-R stand-mounted speakers an award, an 8 out of 10, and a groovy congratulations to RUARK. And that's a lot, folks. Thanks for staying to the end of this particular video. Can I ask you, before you go, just downstairs, can you click on the like and subscribe buttons, please? Just helps me, helps this channel an awful lot, and I thank you for doing that. Down below, I will put a link to RUARK, so you can check out the SABER-Rs. There are my own links to my Patreon page, which has an exclusive, well, actually, I was going to say an exclusive Hi-Fi News, etc. video, but last week, there were a trio of Hi-Fi News, etc. videos, all exclusive. There, in that direction. Go get them. Check them out. There's another one out this week, I think. So 4. It keeps on going. Anyway, in addition to that, we have a link to my Facebook group, which you're welcome to join, and my website, which is enormous. It's been going for a lot longer than this channel. Has, because of that, a lot more stuff than you'll see on this channel. So if you like to read rather than watch, check that out. I'll be back when? This weekend, I guess, with something, I don't know, could be a music alerts thing with new CDs and vinyl, or it could be a newsy thing going on. It's a toughie. It's going to be exciting to find out, and I hope to have your company in the meantime. Until then, folks, bye bye for now.